The PHP Hypertext Processor is a programming language that allows web developer to create dynamic content that interacts with the database. PHP is basically used for developing web-based software application. This tutorial helps you build your base with the PHP. Why to learn PHP? PHP started out as a small open source project that evolved as more and more people found out how useful it was. Remus Lerdorf released the first version of PHP way back in 1994. PHP is a must for students and working professionals to become a great software engineer, especially when they are working in a web development domain. I will list down some of the key advantages of learning PHP. PHP is a recursive acronym for PHP Hypertext Processor. PHP is a server-side scripting language that is enabled in HTML. It is used to manage dynamic content database, session tracking, even build entire e-commerce site. It is integrated with a number of popular databases including MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, Sybase, Informix, and Microsoft SQL Server. PHP is pleasingly zippy in its execution, especially when compiled as an Apache module on the Unix side. The MySQL server once started execute even very complex queries with huge result sets in record-setting time. PHP supports large number of major protocols such as POP3, IMAP, and LDAP. PHP 4 added support for Java and distributed object architecture, COM and Cobra, making entire development a possibility for the first time. PHP is forgiving. PHP language tries to be as forgiving as possible. PHP syntax is C-like. Let's look into the characteristics of PHP. Five important characteristics make PHP practical nature possible: simplicity, efficiency, security, flexibility, familiarity. Hello world using PHP. Just to give you a little excitement about PHP, I'm going to give you a small conventional PHP Hello world program. You can try it's using the demo link. HTML head title hello world title head body PHP echo hello world body HTML application of PHP. As mentioned before, PHP is one of the most widely used languages over the web. I'm going to list few of them here. PHP performs system function, that is form files on a system. It can create, open, read, write, and close them. PHP can handle forms, that is gather data from the file, save data to the file. Through email, you can send data, returned data to the user. You add, delete, modify elements within your database through PHP. Access cookies, variable, and set cookies. Using PHP, you can restrict users to access some pages of your site. It can encrypt data. Audience. This PHP tutorial is designed for PHP programmers who are completely unaware of PHP concepts but they have basic understanding on computer programming. Prerequisite: before proceeding with this tutorial, you should have at least basic understanding of computer programming, internet database, and MySQL. You see, it's very helpful. PHP started out as a small open source project that evolved as more people find out how useful it was. So we will go to okay. So PHP environment setup. In order to develop and run PHP web pages, three vital components need to be installed on your computer system. Web server. PHP will work with virtually all web server software, including Microsoft Internet Information Server. But then most often used is freely available Apache server. Download Apache for free here. So this is the page to download. We'll deal with it later on. Database. PHP will work virtually all database software, including Oracle and Sybase, but most commonly used is freely available MySQL database. Download the MySQL for free. So this is the site. PHP Phaser. In order to process PHP scripts, instruction parser must be installed to generate HTML output that can be sent to the web browser. This tutorial will guide you how to install PHP parser on your computer. PHP parser installation. Before you proceed, it is important to make sure that you have proper environment set up on your machine to develop your web program using PHP. Type the following address into your browser address box: https 127.0.0.info.php. If this displays a page showing your PHP installation related information, then it means that you have PHP and web server installed properly. Otherwise, you will have to follow given procedure to install PHP on your computer. This section will guide you how to install and configure PHP for the following platforms: PHP installed for the Linux, for the OS, and for the Apache configuration. If you're using Apache as a web server, then you'll guide Apache. Just click here. So php.in file configuration. The PHP file configuration file php.in is the final and the most immediate way to affect PHP functionality. Just check in here PHP and I don't Windows IS configuration. So this is it. अब हम लोग नेक्स्ट पेज में जाएंगे और देखेंगे कि क्या क्या है. Okay, so syntax overview. This chapter will give you an idea of very basic syntax of PHP and very important to make your PHP foundation strong. Escaping to PHP. The PHP parsing engine needs a way to differentiate PHP code from other elements in the page. The mechanism for doing so is known as escaping to PHP. There are four ways to do this. Canonical PHP tags. The most unveiling effective PHP tag style is PHP question mark PHP dot question mark bracket close. If you use a style, you can be positive that your tags will always be correctly interpreted. Short open SGML style tags. Short or short open tags look like close question mark dot question mark close. Short tags are one might expect the shortest option. You must do one of the following two things to enable PHP to recognize the tags. Choose the enable short tags configuration option when you're building PHP. Set the short open tag settings in your php.in file to on. The option must be disabled to parse XML with PHP because the same syntax is used for XML. App style tags. ASP style tag mimic the tags used by the active server pages to delineate code blocks. ASP style tags looks like this. To use ASP style tags, you will need to set the configuration option in your php.ini file. HTML script tags. HTML script tags looks like scripting language PHP scripts. Commenting on PHP code. A comment is the portion of the program that exists only for human reader and is striped out before displaying the program results. There are two commenting formats in the PHP: single line comment. They are generally used for short explanation or notes relevant to the local code. Here are the examples of single line comment. This is comment and this is second line of comment. This is a comment too. Each style comments only print an example with single line comment. Multi-line printing. Here are the examples to print multiple lines in a single print statement. First example, print and this uses the here document syntax to output multiple lines with variable interpolation. Note that here document termination must appear on a line with just a semicolon, no extra white space. End. Second example, print this spans multiple lines. This line we output as well. Okay. Multiple icons. They are generally used to provide pseudocode algorithm and more detailed explanation when necessary. The multi-line style of commenting is the same as in C. Here are the example of multi-line comments. So this is how we can write multi-line comments. This is a comment with a multi-line. Author Muhammad Mustahim. Purpose multi-line comments demo. Subject PHP. Print an example with multi-line comment. PHP is a white space insensitive. White space is the stuff you type that is typically invisible on the screen, including space, tabs, and characters written end of line characters. PHP white space insensitive means that it almost never matters how many white space characters you have in a row. One white space character is the same as many such characters. For example, each of the following PHP statement that is assigned the sum 2 plus 2 to the variable 4 is equivalent. 4 is equal to 2 plus 2 single space. 4 tab 2 plus tab 2 space and tabs. Hashtag 4 is equal to 2 plus multiple lines. PHP is case sensitive. Yeah, it is true that the PHP is a case sensitive language. Try the following number: HTML body PHP capital 67. Print variable capital is capital BR. Print. This will produce the following result: variable capital 67, variable capital. Statements are expressions terminated by the semicolons. Statement in PHP: in any expression that is followed by a semicolon, any sequence of valid PHP statement that is enclosed by the PHP tags is valid PHP program. Here is a typical statement in the PHP, which in this case assigns a string of characters to a variable called greetings. Greetings is equal to William to PHP. Expressions are a combination of tokens. The smallest building block of PHP are the individual tokens such as numbers 3.145 strings dot 2 variables $2 constants true and the special word that makes up the syntax of PHP itself like if else while for or so forth. Brace mark make blocks. Although statements cannot be combined like expressions, you can always put a sequence of statements anywhere a statement can go by enclosing them inside of curly braces. Here, both statements are equivalent. If 3 is equal to 2.1, print good, I haven't totally lost my mind. If 3 is equal to 2 plus 1, good, I haven't totally lost my mind. Running PHP script from the command prompt. Yes, you can run your PHP script from the command prompt, assuming the following content in test.php file. PHP echo hello PHP. Now run the script as command prompt as follow $php test.php. It will produce the following result. Hope you have a new basic knowledge of PHP syntax. Yes, I do have. तो अब चलते हैं हम लोग नेक्स्ट पेज में. तो अब हम लोग देखेंगे PHP variable types. The main way to store information in the middle of a PHP program is by using a variable. Here are the most important things to know about variables in the PHP. All variables in the PHP are denoted with a leading dollar sign. The value of a variable is the value of its most recent assignment. Variables are assigned with the dash operator with the variable on the left hand side and the expression to be evaluated on the right. Variables do not need to be declared before assignment. Variables in PHP do not have intrinsic types. A variable does not know in advance whether it will be used to store a number or a string of characters. Variables used before they are assigned have default values. PHP does a good job of automatically converting types from one to another when necessary. PHP variables are Perl-like. So PHP has a total of 8 data types which we use to construct our variables. Integers are the whole numbers without a decimal point like 4195. Doubles are the floating point numbers like 3.141. Booleans have only two possible values, either true or false. Null is a special type that only has one value, null. Strings are the sequence of characters like PHP supports string operations. Array are the named and indexed collection of other values. Objects are instances of the programmer defined classes which can package up both other kind of values and functions that are specific to the class. Resource are the special variables that hold reference to the resource external to PHP such as database connection. The first five are simple types and the next two array objects are compound. The compound types can be packaged of other arbitrary value of the arbitrary type, whereas the simple types cannot. We'll explain only simple data types in the chapter. Array and objects will be explained separately. अब integers के बारे में पढ़ते हैं. Integers are the whole numbers without a decimal point like 4, 1 and 5. The simplest type, they correspond to the simple whole numbers, both positive and negative. Integers can be assigned to variables or they can be used in expressions so like int variable 1 2 3 4 5, another int minus 1 to 5 plus 1 to 5. Integers can be decimal, base 10, octa base, and hexadecimal base 16 format. The decimal format is a default. Octa integers are specified with a leading 0 and hexadecimal have a leading 0x. For the most common form, the largest integers is 2 point this or and the smallest integer is 2 into 3 1. They are like 314 or 49.1 by default double print with the minimum number of decimal place needed. For example, the code PHP many is equal to 2.28880, many 2 is equal to 2.122, few is equal to many plus many. Print as many as it produces the following browser output: 2 plus itna is equal to 4.5. They have only two possible values, either true or false. PHP provides a couple of constant, especially for use a booleans true and false, which can be used like if true, print this will always print br, else print f. Interpreting other types as boolean. Here are the rules that determine the truth of a value not already with the boolean type. If the value is a number, it is false, it exactly equals to 0 and true otherwise. If the value is a string, it is false if the string is empty, has 0 characters, or is the string 0 and it's true otherwise. Values are type null are always false. If the value is an array, it is a false if it contains no other values and is true otherwise. For an object containing a value means having a member variable that has been assigned a value. Valid resources are true, although some functions that return resource when they are successful will return false when successful. Don't use boolean as double boolean. Each of the following variables has a truth value embedded in its name when it is used in a boolean context. True num equal to 3 plus 0.159. True string equal to trident true. String true array 49 is equal to an array element. False array is equal to array. False num is equal to null. False num equal to 999 minus 999. False string equal to null. Null is a special type that only have one value. Null to give a variable the null value simply assign its p like hashtag my variable is equal to null. The special constant null is capitalized by the convention, but actually it is a case sensitive. You could just as well have typed hashtag my variable is equal to null. A variable that has been assigned null has the following properties. It evaluates to false in a Boolean context. It returns false when tested with inset function string. There are sequence of characters like PHP supports string operations. Following are the valid example of strings. String 1, this is a string in double quotes. This is somewhat longer single quoted string. String 39, this string has 39 characters. String 0, a string with 0 characters. Single quoted string are treated almost literally, whereas double quoted string replaces variables with their values as well as special interpreting certain character sequence. PHP variable is equal to name. Literally, my variable will not print. Print literally. Print pr literally. My variable will print. Print literally. This is the reason following. My variable will not print. My name will print. There are no artificial limits on string length. Within the bonds of available memory, you ought to be able to make arbitrarily long strings. Strings that are delimited by the double quotes, as in this, are pre-processed in both the following two ways by the PHP. Certain character sequence beginning with the backslash are replaced with special characters. Variables named string with the dollar are replaced with the string operation representation of their values. The escape sequence replacements are hashtag n is replaced by a new line character, r is replaced by the carriage return character, t is replaced by the tab character, dollar $s is replaced by the dollar sign itself, is replaced by the single double quote is replaced by a single backslash. Here document, you can assign multiple lines to a single string variable using here document. PHP channel XML channel title what's for the dinner. Link html.example.com. Link description choose what to eat tonight. Description XML channel echo end this user the here document settings to output multiple lines with the variables interpolation. Note that here document termination must appear on the line with just a semicolon, no extra white space. End. Print channel, the subject is following. This uses the here document syntax to output multiple lines with variable interpolation. Note that here document terminator must appear on a line with just a semicolon, no extra space. Channel title, what's for the dinner title, link description, choose what to eat tonight. Description, variable scope. Scope can be defined as the range of availability of a variable has to program in which it is declared to PHP. PHP variables can be one of the four types: local variable, function parameters, global variables, static variables. Variable naming. Rule for naming variable is variable naming must begin with a letter of underscore character. A variable name can consist of letters underscore, but you cannot use characters like plus, minus, dollar, etc. There's no size limit for the variables. Okay. अब हम लोग पढ़ेंगे कांस्टेंट के बारे में. Let's begin. A constant is a name or an identifier for a simple value. A constant value cannot change during the execution of the script. By default, a constant is a case sensitive. By convention, constant identifiers are always uppercase. A constant name starts with a letter or underscore followed by any number of letters, number of underscore. If you have defined a constant, it can never be changed or undefined. To define a constant, you have to use define function, and to retrieve the value of a constant, you have to simply specifying its name. Unlike with variables, you do not need to have a constant with a dollar. You can also use the function constant to read a constant value if you wish to obtain the constant's name dynamically. Constant function as indicated by the name, this function will return the value of the constant. This is useful when you want to retrieve value for a constant, but you do not know its name. It is stored in a variable or returned by the function. Constant example: PHP defined mini size 50, echo mini size, echo constant mini size, same thing as the previous line. Only scalar data, boolean, integer, float, and string can be contained in the constant. Difference between the constant and variables: there's no need to write a dollar sign before a constant, whereas in the variable, one has to write a dollar sign. Constant cannot be defined by simple assignment. They might only be defined using the define function. Constant may be defined and accessed anywhere without regard to the variable scoping rules. Once the constant have been set, may not be redefined or undefined. So valid and invalid constant name. Valid constant name. Define one first thing, define two second thing, define three third thing, define three third value. Invalid constant name, define two second thing. PHP Magic constant. The PHP provides a large number of predefined constants to any script which it runs. There are five magical constants that change depending on where they are used. For example, the value of line depends on the line that it is used on your script. These special constants are case insensitive and follows a few magical PHP constants given below. Line, the current line of the file, the full path and the file name of the file is used inside and include the name of the include file is returned. Since PHP 4.0.0 file always contains an absolute path, whereas in older version it contained relative path under some circumstances. Function, a function name added in PHP 4.3.0 as the PHP 5. This constant returns the function name as it was declared case sensitive. In PHP 4, it values always lowercase class. The class name added in PHP 4.3.0 as the PHP 5, this constant returns the class name as it was declared case sensitive in PHP 4. Its value is always lowercase. Method. This class method names added in PHP 5.0.0. The method name is returned as it was declared case sensitive. Okay. So we'll go to the next page and we'll see operator type. What is a operator? Simple answer can be given as an expression 4.5 is equal to 9. Here 4 and 5 are the call operators and plus is called the operator. PHP language supports following type of operators: arithmetic, comparison, logical, assignment, and conditional. Let's have a look on all the operators one by one. Arithmetic operator. There are following 20 operations supposed with the PHP language. Assume variables are hold 10, variables b hold 20. Then, so example, plus add two operands, a plus b will give 30, subtract will give 10, simply like this. Comparison operator. There are following comparison operators supposed with the PHP language. Assume variable a holds 10 value and b holds 20 values. Then, so example, check if the value of the two operands are equals or not. If yes, then condition becomes true. If a is equal to b, a is not equal to b, a is greater than b, a is less than b, a is equal to b, a is less than true. Assignment operators. There are following assignment operators supported by the PHP language is equal to simple assignment operator assigning values from the right operand to the left side. C is equal to a plus b will assign value a plus b into c. Plus is equal to and assignment operator, it adds right operand to the left operand and assign the result to the left operand. C plus is equal to a is equivalent to c is equal to c plus a. C plus a. Okay. Is equal to subtract and assignment operator is subtract right operand from the left operand and assign the results to the left. C minus is equal to a is equal to c is equal to c minus a. Multiply an assignment operator multiplies right operand with the left operand and assign the results to the left operand. Divide an assignment operator by the similarly conditional operator. There are one more operator called conditional operator. The first evaluates an expression for true or false value and then execute one of the two given statements depending upon the result of the evaluation. The condition operator has a syntax: question mark conditional expression. If condition is true, then value x, otherwise value y. Operator categories. All the operators we have discussed above can be categorized in the following categories: unary, prefix operator, which which proceed in a single operand. Binary operators, which takes two operands and perform a variety of arithmetic and logical operators. The conditional operator, which takes three operands and evaluates either the second or the third expression, depending upon the evaluation of the first expression. Assignment operator, which assign value. Precedence of the PHP operators determine the grouping of terms in expression. This affects how an expression is evaluated. Certain operators have higher precedence than other. For example, the multiplication operator has higher precedence than addition to operator. For example, is equal to plus 7 plus 3 into 2. Here x is assigned 13, not only because the operator star has higher precedence than plus, so it first gets multiplied with the 3 into 2 and then adds in 7. Here operators with the higher precedence appears at the top of the table. Those with the lowest appear at the bottom within an expression. Higher precedence operator will be loaded first. Category: urinary, multiplicative, additive, relation, equator, logical or conditional, and assignment. Right to left, left to right, 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 and so on. So we'll again go to the next page and learn about decision making. So decision making. The if else and switch statement are used to take decision based on the different condition. You can use conditional statement in your code to make a decision. PHP is also following three decision making statement. Conditions: if condition is true, if condition is false, conditional code, and then the answer. If else statement. Use the statement if you want to execute a set of code when a condition is true and another if condition is not true. If else statement. It is used with the if else statement to execute a set of code if one of the several condition is true. Switch statement is used if you want to select one of many blocks of code to be executed. Use a switch statement. The switch statement is used to avoid long blocks of if else code. The if else statement: if you want to execute some code if a condition is true and another code if the condition is false, use the if statement syntax. If condition code to be executed if condition is true, else code to be executed if is false. The following example will output have a very nice weekend if the current day is Friday, otherwise it will be output have a nice day. HTML, PHP, date, Friday, have a nice weekend, else echo, have a nice day. Body to produce, have a nice weekend. The if else statement. If you want to execute some code, if one of the several conditions is true, use the statement below. Syntax: if condition, code to be executed condition is true, else condition true. The following example will have output a nice weekend if the current date is Friday and have a nice Sunday if the current day is Sunday, otherwise this will have a nice day. PHP date D, if $d is equal to Friday, have a nice weekend, else if it is Sunday, have a nice Sunday, else have a nice day. Reduce, have a nice weekend. The switch statement: if you want to select one of the many blocks of the code to be executed, use the switch statement. The switch statement is used to avoid long blocks or if else code. Syntax: expression, case level, code to be executed expression level 1, case level 2, code to be executed expression level 2, break default code to be executed if expression is different from both level 1 and level 2. Example: the switch statement works in an unusual way. The switch statement works in an unusual way. First, it evaluates given expression, then seeks a label to match the resulting value. If the matching value is found, then the code associated with the matching label will be executed, or if none of the labels match, then statement is executed in a specific label code. Body, date, switch Monday, today's Monday, break true, today's Tuesday, Wednesday, today's Wednesday, break Thursday, today's Thursday, break Friday, today's Friday, break Sunday, today's Sunday, break default, wonder which day it is. The celebrity today is Monday. Okay. Loop types. Loops in the PSP are used to execute the same block of code in specific number of times. PJ suppose following four type of loop. For the loops through a block of code specific number of time. While loop loops through a block of code if and as long as specified condition is true. Do while loops through a block of code once and then repeat the loop as long as special condition is true. For each loops through a block of code for each element in an array. We'll discuss about continue and break keywords used to control the loop execution. The for loop. Okay, so the statement is used when you know how many times you want to execute the code. Syntax example: the while loop. This while statement will execute a block of code if it long as test expression true. If the text expression is true, then the coded block will execute after the code has answered the test expression true. So this is the example. The do while loop. The do while statement will this represent the सो बाकी हम लोग आगे पढ़ेंगे कंटिन्यू। सो लूप को हम लोग फिर से पढ़ेंगे।